Hello and welcome to the Samurai Grand Prix. Round 7, we're off underway. Trey leads us off field. And now Boggy. Boogie. Trey has a financial lead. Besides that, but here comes Nathan Morgan for the lead heel. Same as Isaac Morans. Sidney Strong got loose off that torn. Nate Marshall had a great qualifying one. The McLaren's trying to fight out for the second. Avery Hall, the Red Bull Idol, has the fastest lap of a 31.90. Isaac Morton's going on the inside heel. He gets put into the grass. Nate Marshall and Thor in the Alpine. Avery Hall up to 5th. Trey has dropped down to 6th. Sam Davis up to 9th. Daniel up to 10th. Isaac Morton's now leads heel. Avery Hall gets the fastest lap again. Nate Marshall drops down to 5th. Three-way battle here for Thor in the podium spot. Isaac Mullins leading. Nate Marshall is trying to get Alpine some points. They are last in the constructors, trying to fight with the Red Bull of Nathan Morgan. Nate and Sidney going to fight for it. Morgan's having trouble now. Trey's coming up fast. Daniel as well. Nate Marshall in 2nd in the Alpine. Monaco Grand Prix will be live streamed today at around probably 6:30. Trey now up to 2nd. He's back. He has the fastest lap with a 30.93. He's going to try to catch up to his teammate. Nathan Morgan has to pit due to big damage team with Sam Davis. But here comes Sidney Strunk still fighting. Had to break down. Nate Marshall trying to get the podium for Alpine. Nate Marshall currently in a podium spot, now going up to 2nd. Jack Carbo and Logan Ramos fighting for 7th field on lap number 5. Jack Carbo trying to win this battle. Anthony now has the fastest lap of the race. Nate Marshall still holding on to that 2nd place spot, as Avery Hall had to pit too. Trey has to pit now. Going to go with soft tires again. Daniel is now up to 5th in the Aston Martin. Anthony up to 4th. Henry Carbo also has to pit. He's going with medium tire compound. Gabe McClure, Evan Crawford, and Logan Ramos all fighting for position here. And Sidney and Nate still fighting for 2nd. Sidney trying to go on the outside, but Nate has it. As Sidney will pit. Gonna go with fresher medium tires. Isaac had a great start to this race. Sidney has dropped down to 7th. Logan Ramos and Jack Carver also pit on that lap. As Nate Marshall, Anthony Petrino, Daniel Bogman, Evan Crawford, Kim McClure, James Semling all have worn out tires, but Sidney has the fresher new ones. Josh Johnson up to 9th. This is going to be a good point today for Alpine if they keep it this way. Anthony has passed Nate Marshall due to him pitting. Daniel now in the podium spot. And they will go with medium compound tires. He will drop all the way to, let's see, 8th. Peel also pits. Isaac hasn't pitted yet. Kane McClure up to 4th. She just passed Evan Crawford. Peel dropped all the way to last. Tough break for him. Daniel still in 3rd. James Sterling up to 5th in the kick stable as Evan Crawford takes a pit stop for Ferrari. Let's see what decision they go to. They go for the hard tires. Isaac Mullins has a sizable lead over Anthony Procaccino. So far, the only people who haven't pitted is Josh Johnson, Zach Sparks, James Sterling, Kim McClure, Dan Bogman, Anthony Procaccino, and Isaac Mullins, your leader. I mean, they have the soft second last for 17 laps there, funny enough. But Cindy Shrunk has made her way up to 6th, same as Trey up to 7th. Josh Johnson still in 8th. I mean, that the medium tires can last a little bit longer than the soft tires, obviously. So let's see what the strategy works out here in San Marino. As Pierce is about to get lapped here. Anthony will take a pit stop here, same as Daniel Borgman. Who else will? Katie doesn't say that, I mean. Daniel only dropped down to 5th, I believe. Nope, 6th. He dropped all the way to 8th. Nate Marshall has dropped significantly to 9th, but I think he's going to catch up here. Kim McClure and Isaac Mullins are the next one to pit, probably. Isaac won't pit this time by Will Kaylee. She's currently in 2nd on the Williams. Let's see. She will. Anthony gets back 2nd place with James Sterling. Take a pit stop. No, he won't. He will keep Kick Sauber out for a moment or two. Zach Sparks also will too. But James and Isaac might need to pit stop right here and might have to box the slap. Isaac will. Anthony will probably retake the lead with a 30.38 fastest lap time. Let's see off these final corners. Can he beat out Isaac? Who's on pit road? Will James Sterling take a pit stop? Yes, he will. And Anthony will beat out Isaac, but he has way more fresher tires than Anthony. Let's see how this is going to go down. Josh Johnson has yet to take a pit stop as well, which is a very interesting strategy, trying to last those medium tires way longer than they should. And same as Zach Sparks. Zach Sparks hasn't hit yet. He decides not to this lap. Anthony's just bad fast today, that's for sure. Same Shrunk and Thor train 4th. Josh Johnson, one of the drivers to do this today. He's going to pit now. Kim McClure up to 6th after that. Nate Marshall in 5th. Zach Sparks stays out one more time again. Will Davis Mills take a pit stop? Let's see. No, he won't. Anthony and now Cindy and Trey going to fight it out probably. Let's see if the DOS is able to. And Zach needs to pit here right now. And now Isaac's right on the gearbox of Anthony. And he shoves Isaac down to the grass. Trying to defend the 4th place position on lap 16 out of 61. Isaac on the inside. Going to push him again. This is great defense by Anthony Procaccino. Trey has just moved up to the podium spot. As Sam Davis pits for the 2nd time today, Zach has yet to pit. Let's see if he will this time by. He's getting very slow as Josh Johnson on the gearbox of Zach Sparks. Now, I think this would be Zach's 4th pit stop of the day, and it will not. He stays out a little bit more. Anthony will still fight with Isaac now, but Anthony's kind of drifting away. Going lap Sam Davis soon. Trey is catching up to Isaac. Nate Marshall is in 5th. Great day for the Alpine. I mean, Isaac Mullins is also catching up to Anthony. So let's see how this can work out on lap 18 out of 61. Trey trying to catch up to the leader. Suddenly shrunk in 4th. 5th is Nate still. 6th is Daniel. Zach Sparks finally takes the pit stop. Which one is he going to do? Soft tires this time by. As Isaac Mullins now going for Anthony again through it. And now he has nowhere to defend almost. He needs to defend by pure skill. It won't happen. Isaac Mullins would take back the lead here, but Anthony not trying to get back. Anthony on the outside. Inside, I mean, he will get it back on lap 19. Trey takes another pit stop. His second pit stop of the day. Jack Cover as well. He dropped to 11th. Trey only dropped down to 6th. Jack Cover put on the hard tire compound. He's still. Levi Davis now down in the lap. As the Marino is catching up to Sam Davis in the Williams. With this hold on back. Cindy Shrek now moves up to the podium. Nate Marshall in 4th, Daniel in 5th. Trey is trying to catch up at Logan Ramos, 2 points. He was in 7th. Tony has soft tires, a very worn out soft tire compound. As Sam Davis and Peter have just been lapped on lap 20. Davis misses the next one to be lapped in the Racing Bulls, who got a strong start this season. Let's see how well that fares after Monaco. Anthony trying to hold this lead with all his might right now. Isaac Mullins trying to get back the lead. He has fresher soft tires. Cindy Strong trying to just catch up to them, but she is having worn out medium tires. Let's see what happens. There's Isaac Mullins takes back the lead here. And we will pit under a lap down, same as Peter, their second pit stop of the day. Up next is, I think it's Zach, if anything. Yeah, Zach is next to be a lap down here. Isaac now leads Cindy in 3rd, 7th, Nate Marshall in 4th. Trey has made his way back up to 5th. James Simon in 8th, surprisingly, in the kick saddle, as Nathan Morgan will pit for medium tire compounds. And then he gets lapped. Dropping down to 15th place. Now Avery Hall down the lap here. Trying to stay on the lead lap though, as here comes Anthony again. I don't think they would take a pit stop just yet. Cindy Strunk will not either. And Marshall will not either. Trey is all the way back there with Daniel. They're both fine for 5th. Let's see what happens here as Trey will win that battle. Anthony trying to catch up to Isaac. Both have the same idea, but the strategy is the naming game of this. They're both going to pit here. Anthony and Isaac will both pit. Who's going to take it? Anthony would take the hard tires. Isaac would take the softs. As Cindy takes the lead on lap 25. Second pit stops here today. And Marshall up to 2nd, but that doesn't matter when Isaac is faster than him at the moment. Same as Anthony. Let's see what happens here. Daniel up to 5th. Trey in 6th. 7th is James Stein in the kick stable. 8th is Logan Ramos as Kenny McClure took a pit stop to get medium compound tires. Sydney doesn't box the stop on lap 26, but you know who does? Nate Marshall on the Alpine. He would take it. He would box the stop for soft tires. Okay. A lot of teams going for probably a 3 to 4 pit stop strategy. We'll see when this all comes down to the final laps here. Isaac Mullins will lead after Cindy boxes, and she will box just now, as Sam Davis is now, I think, 2 laps down. Cindy will go for soft tires. Here comes Dan Bregman, who is on the medium and still kind of worn out. And now Anthony and Isaac fighting again. This is their race to lose here. Anthony has DRS again, trying to get on the inside. That doesn't usually work. It doesn't. He gets pushed off like he did with Isaac Oil in this race. So far, Daniel has yet to pit, and he will this time by. So, Sonny back in the podium spot with James Simon pit. No, he's currently in 7th. Sam Davis trying to get back his lap though, as Daniel Borgman went with soft tires. Anthony just trying to push the limit of this car against Sam Davis. Nate Marshall still in 4th, Trey's in 5th, but he looks like he has some damage. Anthony now trying to catch up to Isaac now after that debacle with Sam. And Anthony gets shoved into the grass. As Xbox will now pit for soft tires. Anthony on the inside, outside now, back to the inside here. Anthony would take back the lead, but Isaac is going to fight back through the front stretch. Isaac still holds the lead in the McLaren. And Jameson won't pit, but Trey will with the medium tire compound because of damage. He would go for him now instead of mediums. Does he still pit stops? So maybe 4 to 5 pit stops strategy. Nate Marshall up to 3rd. Wow. What a great day for the Alpine team, because I mean Josh is in 8th at the moment. Let's see how he's doing. He's fine with Trey at the moment. Zach's Xbox about to be lapped. He's about to be about maybe a lap down, and officially he will. Logan Ramos takes a pit stop with the hard compounds. We are halfway through this race. Almost, at least. As Evan Crawford will be a lap down now. Nate Marshall holding his ground in the Alpine. Isaac has a decent lead over Anthony Pochettino. As now Sonny and Nate, but Nate's trying to defend here. Trying to push the absolute car to his limits, and he will. Beautiful job by Nate. Anthony's still trying to catch up to Isaac. Let's see how Cindy and Nate are doing. Cindy will get back to 3rd. Daniel in 5th. Nice day. Same as James. James has had a nice day here in San Marino. Hasn't boxed this slapped. The hard compound's about to worn out. Cindy Shrunk and Nate Marshall still fine. And Nate going on the outside, probably in this tight chicane. He makes it walk. About to be lapped is Nathan Morgan and Davis Mears again. Davis would be about maybe 2 laps down. Cindy takes 3rd place away from Nate. Davis Mears is 2 laps down here in San Marino. Anthony trying to get it back up there. Nate Marshall is also trying to get it up to 3rd. SP will be now once again 2 laps down. As Peel had a penalty apparently, and that okay, interesting. Just inside to the Rundale as Nate Marshall trying to catch up to Sidney Strunk within these corners. Daniel in 5th in the Aston Martin. 6th is James saying he has to box this lap for sure. And top 10 winds up with Trey V in 10th. Isaac Mullins will now take a pit stop for soft tires again, as Anthony would take the lead here, but the soft tires are very fast around the circuit. He would drop down to only 4th place, maybe even 5th. Let's see. Nope, only 4th. Anthony now going to lap Nathan Morgan, who is about, let's see, 1 lap down. Davis is still 2 laps down, same as Peter. As Nathan's fighting to stay on the lead lap, it won't work. Anthony gets around him, same as Sydney and probably Nate as well. But Isaac has the faster car. Dan Borgman's still in 5th. Josh Johnson has made his way up to 6th. Here comes Sydney Strunk on the outside. And Anthony has front wing damage. Anthony has front wing damage. That's not good for him. As James Sand's about to, I think James Sand pitted. Yep, for soft tires. As Jack Cobble, Anthony Petrino, and Nate Marshall all pit. Cindy will stay out for one more lap or so. Will Daniel do the same? No, he won't. Will Josh stay out? No, he won't. The Alpine team calls him in. Will Kane McClure stay out? No. Will Trey stay out? I don't think so. James has the softer tires now. That's good for him. Sidney Shrunk still leads here. And San Marino. And now will pit. Isaac Mullins doesn't need to pit. Morgan Crawford will pit. Up next for the lapping cars will be Kane McClure unless she is already lapped down. Let's see. Nope. Well, kind of, but not really. Let's see, he's on the lead lap. 5, but soon to be 6. Isaac Mullins now leads here. Dan Bogman all the way behind, but he has had a great day in the Aston Martin. Sidney shrunk in the medium-sized tires, and now Nate Marshall has been fine with Sidney all race long as we head to lap number 40. Here Smith will take a pit stop. Daniel will stay out one more time. Nate Marshall trying to make his way around Jack Cobble in the racing boards as David Smith has had 4 pit stops today. Isaac Mullins has just dominated this race from start to finish so far. Has had 3 pit stops, maybe a 4th pit stop, 4 pit stop strategy, and Daniel is about to make his pit stop soon. And he will this lap. Let's see how far he falls and which tower are they going to go. Takes a gets in the box and hard. Okay, honestly, good decision to last that long. Honestly, Isaac Mullins, 20 or so laps to go for him, as Sunny is way behind, and same as Nate Marshall, and now Anthony has front wing damage again. Cindy trying to catch up to Isaac as soon as possible, and she just got a 30.75, a couple of seconds faster than Isaac Mullins. And who's pinning right now? Anthony will pit because of front wing damage as Jamestown goes up to 5th. Anthony will drop down to 8th. And who's in the pits right now? Henry Cobble once again. Just not a good start of the season for him at all. Josh Johnson calling in 6th. I think Isaac has this race wide open unless Sidney has a different strategy than him, or Nate even. Nate getting a victory for Alpine would be great for the team. But Daniel trying to get his medium podium. And he's slowing down just a tiny bit. As here comes James Sneddon, the kick stable. Trying to get his main podium as well. But Isaac is just running away with the win at the moment. And James Sneddon goes up to 4th. Great drive by him today. He might be our driver of the day, honestly. If you're all about to be lapped again. Or just passed again until getting a lap down, I guess. Nate Marshall still in the podium, and James is making his money's worth with that kick stable. Same as Daniel in that. And Alpine has just been great today. I mean, 4 than 6 for that car is impressive. Jameson is going to try to catch up to Nate Marshall, but I think it's going to be all or not. But still, a great drive by him today, as James Sneddon got the fastest lap too. James just got the fastest lap, which will earn him some more points into the championship. Couple laps to go now. Anyway, Isaac takes the pit stop. Now Sydney will take the. Actually, I think Isaac will get back on the track before she does. Before she passes him. Let's see. Nearly. Ooh, that. Okay, that's interesting. As a Marshall still on the podium spot, but James has to let go of the fourth place spot and has to pit for soft tires. And now it's Isaac and Sydney once again. Sydney's going to try and fight him off, defending that fourth place position, but she has to pit sometime or another. We are now in the dying laps of this race as Isaac Moore is going for the lead now, and once again takes it with the faster tires. Daniel Borgman in fourth, but Josh Johnson as well has done a great day with the Alpine. Anthony not so much, but James is going to go quick now. Sydney trying to catch up to Isaac now. It's wheel-to-wheel combat. It's not going to work. We're now on lap 50. This is going to be a fun race. Josh Johnson looking to pit. Maybe he will not. James is kind of behind now. Sydney is still fighting for that win. But gets put into the grass. But Sydney's still trying to fight back off this corner. 10 laps or so to go. As Josh Johnson was in fourth for a minute. That's wow. Okay. Wait there. As Sydney gets back to lead. And Cabo gets past again. Isaac is just making mistakes here. Daniel in fourth. Fifth is James Sully now in the kick stable as Josh has to pit along with Anthony. Anthony just had a bad day. Sydney has to pit and now will relinquish the lead to Isaac Moores in the McLaren. So now it's, and Nate Marshall has to pit too. But now, here's the funny thing. I think James might honestly get his his fourth ever podium spot in that kick stable because he's fifth with soft tires. 10 laps to go here in San Marino. As Logan Ramos, our points here has dropped down to 10th. It's going to be really interesting how this race will work out in the final laps because Isaac has soft tires. Since still in second, Nate still in third, Daniel in fourth, James Sunny about to be crossing the line in fifth here today. Isaac has a significant lead over Sydney. It might be all for naught for Sydney and Nate, but Nate's about to get his fourth ever podium in F1. James Sunny catching up to Daniel though. Significantly. Isaac still leads obviously in the McLaren. Isaac still holds on to the lead, and James is up to fourth. Isaac has just dominated this race. But Isaac's soft tires might come to rescue. Isaac Morris will win in San Marino. As a Marshall under the third, and that's the race here in San Marino. James Hamilton holds the fastest lap, and Logan has the point standings now by 1 point. I see you all in Monaco.